YouTube, it's your boy Ayoy. We back with some UFC. This shit lit tonight. We got the Saturday card all figured out. And before I get diving into high gear, leave me a sub, leave me a like, comment your top three picks of the day. And if we go a combined 3-0, your top three picks with my top three picks combined, I'm gonna cash app somebody $30. Comment your cash app and your top three picks to qualify. Without further ado, let's hop in prelims, early prelims. We got Puha Tomar, and a couple of these people missed weight the first time, and I think Puha is one of them, but she made weight second time. The only one who missed weight both times, I believe, is Eduarda Moura. So watch out for that one. Next up, well, first off, I'm going with Puha Tomar in this one because she's 8-4 versus a Rayon Dos Santos who's not really nothing special. You know what I mean? Like the upside for Dos Santos, she's got you know what I mean? Like she's really not done anything in the UFC. Lost her first match, lost under Dana White Contender Series, and had to build her way back up in Invicta. But if I had to pick a fighter, I would go with Puja Tomar. There's no reason she's that big of an underdog. If we look at her profile, yeah, she's got 4 losses by sub, 1 by knockout. But this is her debut, and she's corner stoppaging people with belts. You know what I mean? Title fights. She's defended her belt already, knocking people out. I think the upside is way higher on Tomar's side, so give me Tomar on the money line to get the day started off right with a bang. Next up, we got Cody Stamann versus Taylor Lapilus, and we was watching that UFC Paris, that UFC Paris card. Excuse me, I'm a little under the weather. My throat, man. Sorry, but regardless of the fact, he fought Fareed Basharat, and it was not good, but he did beat Loughran. Like I said, you know what I mean? It was unanimous decision with Basharat. He didn't get knocked out. With Cody Stamann, this is what you can expect from him. Whole bunch of attitude, whole bunch of energy, but I think we get to the decision. I think this fight goes the distance. That's my bet in this one. If he's fighting the Magomedov, he's getting subbed. Davishvili, you know how much better he is. Unanimous decision loss. He has to get his wins over people like Lacerda, who is 12-3 respectively. Not a doormat, but not somebody that's a household. He's knocked out Wineland, who's 24-16. You know what I mean? Like, that's a doormat. He has to win against doormats. I'm not backing on him. Give me Taylor Lapilus, and I'll lock that up. But if you had to pick the best bet of that fight, I would have it to go to the distance. I think it's going to be a decision in that Taylor Lapilus fight. A lot of patience. Next up, we got Eduarda Moura versus Denise Gomez. And Denise Gomez is a savage. I fuck with her. Eduarda's coming into this one 10-0. That's why she's the favorite. Everybody loves the undefeated people. And Denise just lost to Angela Hill. You know what I mean? The unanimous decision way. But she did fight this Dos Santos, who's fighting on the card in the Contender Series, beat her unanimously. Got 2 knockout victories and lost 2 unanimous decisions. So when she's winning, she's punching people down and out. Let's look at what Eduarda's doing on her end. She's coming to this one 10-0, 4 knockouts, 5 subs. And look at what she's did since she's entered the UFC. 1 match against Conejo Ruiz. But 10-4, you guys know who Conejo Ruiz is. Nothing special, you know what I mean? Knocked her ass out real quick in the second round. And then Dana White Contender Series, she's got a sub. She's finishing fights for sure at Warda, but she's the one who's missed weight, so I would tread lightly. On this one, if I had to pick one, I would pick Denise Gomes, just based off experience and just the power she has. Like, Denise Gomes is not the most polished. No, she's not necessarily champion material right now, but I gotta see a little bit more from Eduarda before I can back her up. And then the miss weight, that's what I'm really worried about. Give me Denise Gomes, but I'm staying away from that one. Well, we got 15-0 versus John Castaneda. Daniel Marcos 15-0. John Castaneda. Give me John Castaneda in the pick'em. This is a slight underdog, but I like Castaneda's fighting style, and I like what he brings to the game. Both ends, he could sub you or he could knock you out. You know what I mean? He did take a head scratcher loss by Daniel Santos. Daniel Santos is 12-2, so it's not that bad of a loss, but he did get knocked out. Then he came and bounced back 2 fights after that. Now he got some 15-0 prospect to knock out, and then he will be entered into that top 10, I believe, if he wins this fight. 15-0. Daniel Marcos, first 3 fights went very good for him. 1 knockout, 1 split decision. But he's having a split decision with Davey Grant. Look at Davey Grant's record, 15-7. It's not a good look, you know what I mean, for it to be split decision for him. Then you got a no contest last fight. He might be rusty, you know what I mean? I gotta go with my boy, trusted John Castaneda. Give me John Castaneda to give him his first loss. Andrea Lee, Montana De La Rosa. This is a pick'ems. Nobody has a true advantage, but I'll go with Andrea Lee just off the pure fact that she's just a better all-around grappler and striker. If I would have to pick a striker between these two, it's going to be Andrea Lee, even though she's on a 4-gamer, 4-fight losing slump. And the other girl isn't doing either. That's better either. Look at her profile. Coming to this one off a 3-gamer, 3-fight losing streak with 1 no contest in there, or a draw. Give me Andrea Lee, but I don't love it. Staying away. Next up, we got Brad Katona, Jesse Butler. Jesse Butler's a doormat, scrub. I gotta go with Brad Katona all day long. Look why we're fading this dude, Jesse Butler. Out of 12 fights, 17 fights, he's won 12. But won his first UFC fight against Jim Miller. Knocked out in 23 seconds. That's an immediately alarming red flag. Give me my boy Brad Katona. He gonna smash his ass too then. Jim Miller did. Charles Radke versus Carlos Paredes. And this is a good matchup. Don't overlook Charles. Let's look at what Charles got to bring to the table. Give y'all one of these little insights that I seen. I found out some real cold shit on this fight. Look at this. Coming at this one knocked out. Gilbert Urbina. You know what Urbina do. Get his ass punched up, but he's a good fighter. Blood Diamond, easy money, but it was a unanimous decision. He didn't get the finish, but it was a pretty comfortable win. Before that, he was champion by submission, rear naked choke. In the amateurs, Carlos Prates, or whatever. That's the 80-inch reach. Pretty good reach, but this is his 3rd fight too. He did knock out Trevor and Giles. That was a great knockout. Unexpected, because we all thought Trevor and Giles was going to win that one. Carlos Prates knocked him out. I like what Prate's got to offer to the table. He did get, last 5 fights all won by knockout. Somebody's and look at his he talking about Thug Jitsu. That's what my boy Charles repping. Give me my boy Charles Radke. I think he keeps it very close. Give me Charles Radke. Carlos, pump the brakes on Carlos. Thiago Moises, Ludovic. Yeah, give me Ludovic Klein. I gotta go against Thiago Moises. He's not in his prime at all. He's on the way down. Give me Ludovic. Miguel Beza, Punahele Soriano, and I'm going with Miguel Beza in this one. Soriano coming to this one, 72.5 reach versus Miguel 74.5. Southpaw for Punahele, so it's a pretty good matchup. You know what I mean? But Punahele is on a 4-1 losing streak. And I can't back that up right now. Give me Miguel Beza. He's 1-4 in his last 5. Is Soriano. Came to get there with Soriano. Most of his wins were from amateur. Zachary Reese, Julian Marquez. This is a tough one for me. I can't really call it. I left this one alone. If you guys want to look at the tail of the tape. 34 versus 30-year-old. 77-inch reach advantage for Zachary. Coming in this one 6-1. I'm not fucking with this fight at all. I don't know how he's gonna do after losing to Cody Brundage. You know what I mean? Looking very good in all the other fights. Then you come in and lose to Cody Brundage by knockout. That's not a good look. But the same thing could be said about Julian. Look at what he's done in his last 5 fights. Coming in, okay, I could see that Gregory Rodriguez knockout. I could understand that. It's not a terrible, terrible, terrible loss. But your first 2 fights, you did good. Submission. Then you go out there and lose to Mark Barriault, 16-7. That's not a good loss at all. So I don't know what to expect from these 2 goofies. These 2 goofies is just out there winging it. What I could tell you is going to happen, somebody's getting finished. Somebody's going to get finished. If Cody Brundage can knock him out, somebody's getting finished. This one is not going the distance. My final pick for that one. Bruno Ferreira versus Dustin Stolfus. And I'm going with Bruno. Bruno is the clear-cut favorite. Better fighter. 11-1 for a reason. Next up, we got Raul Rosas Jr. versus Ricky Turcos. And Turcos is cool, but give me Raul Rosas, 19-year-old phenomenon for a reason. This boy is in the UFC at this age for a reason. And we're going to show y'all tonight. Give me the Raul Rosas Jr. That boy is really like that. Ricky's all right, but he's not on Raul's level. Dominic Reyes, Dustin Jacoby, and I got this one not to go the distance. Somebody's getting slept early. Give me the not to go the distance in that one. And we got the main event. Jared Cannonier versus Imavov. And this is a tough one for me because I like Cannonier. I really do like Cannonier, but he only lost to Strickland by unanimous decision. Beat Joaquin Buckley. Chris Curtis, no contest. And you know what I mean? Before that, he did punch out Ian Hinchich. Then he lost to Phil Hawes by majority, unanimous. It's going to be a damn good fight right here. I think Jared Cannonier has a little bit more power, more grit, more physical, more, you know what I mean? But when we seen him fight in that championship fight against Adesanya, the shit was not shown. You know what I mean? Then you come out and beat Strickland in a split decision. Then you beat Vettori. I think Cannonier has it in him to get this one. If as long as it's not a champion or people like, you know what I mean, Adesanya, like, you know what I mean? Alex Pereira, people like that of that caliber. Jared Cannonier pretty much flurries and excels. Give me Jared Cannonier in the upset, but this is a tight one, man. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm involved one. I wouldn't be surprised, but just worst case scenario, this one's going the distance. I think this one's nobody's gonna get finished. Give me this one to go to the distance if you don't want to pick a side. If you do, I'm leaning with Jared Cannonier to end the night off with an upset. He keeps rolling, gets another title shot or a top 3 fight. Give me Jared Cannonier. And that's how we ending off the UFC. If you like what you see, if you like what you heard, even if you don't like what you heard, leave me some comments. Let me know who y'all got. And let's keep rolling. Till next fight.